Welcome to the Natural Health Podcast, where we bring awareness of sustainable health in the business hustle space. The Natural Health Podcast is perfect for the high-performing, business-minded individuals who want to work with their biochemistry to achieve optimal health. It's Friday, which means it's time for friends sharing facts about health, business, and overall success. In today's episode, we talk to Lisa Gatt, who will talk to you about how you can fight off stress with a simple yoga practice. Lisa is a yoga instructor and remedial massage therapist who runs her own small business called Whisper Wellness, which is her absolute pride and joy. She's obsessed with all things mind, body, spirit, and is passionate about assisting people to heal physically, mentally, and spiritually. Lisa completed her intensive yoga training in India, which was a blessing for her. She loves to travel and explore nature in every single country. When she's not practicing yoga or giving a magical massage, she's hanging off a tree in nature upside down doing a handstand. Welcome to the podcast, Lisa.
Hi. How are you?
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. So how long have you been doing handstands for? You're always hanging off when I look at your Instagram photos. There's always something upside down.
Whole entire life. Yeah, I actually started gymnastics when I was 10 years old. But I was handstanding way before that, cartwheeling all over the shop, in shopping centres.
Oh, wow. So you're a little monkey.
Yeah, I'm a little monkey, yeah.
I love it. So the progression to yoga was just given to you since you were young.
Yes, I did find actually the physical part of yoga was quite smooth. It was more the slowing down, which I wouldn't say that came naturally. Gymnastics is really kind of energetic and high intensity training. So transitioning from gymnastics to yoga was definitely, it wasn't just smooth sailing, but it takes some time to learn to slow down.
So you learned yoga in India. How long ago was that?
Yes, it's been just over 4 years now, which has gone super fast.
Yeah,
Time flies.
Time flies.
Yeah, bad. I had a friend actually who my gymnastics coach. She went to India and did the yoga training, and I was like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Had never done yoga before. And I thought, you know what? I love to travel. I'm going to go to India and learn yoga. And so just before I went there, I was like, what on earth am I doing? I don't even know if I like yoga. No, it's boring. Like, I just wasn't sure. 1 week before I went there, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do this course. They were like, just come, you've paid for it. And then, I was there a week later, and it was a 1 month intensive full-time course.
Wow, 1 month. So you were in India for a whole month.
A whole month, yeah. And it completely changed. Like, it was just the best month ever. And completely fell in love with yoga. I love the slowness of it. Once you learn all the benefits, spiritual, physical, mental health benefits, it's just, it's really amazing practice. So here I am, just like that.
That's it. So traveling, so you absolutely love traveling. So where else have you been besides India?
So I've been to Europe, a lot of countries in Europe. I've done a lot of traveling around all of Europe, really. And I've been to Africa.
Wow.
I've been to South America. I've been to a lot of places in Asia, Vietnam, Philippines, Nepal. I've been
like everywhere.
I've been to most continents.
Have you been to America yet?
I've been to LA for like a couple of days, but I haven't spent much time in America. It hasn't been somewhere that I'm like really wanting or just like want to go. Because I just love to go for a real cultural experience. I don't know what I'll get in America.
Yeah, I'm the same. I haven't been to America yet either. And I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to go, if I'm going to go.
Yeah. I'd really like to go to Canada.
Yes.
So it looks like there's I love nature. So
I heard Canada's similar to New Zealand.
Yeah. I haven't been to New Zealand actually.
So you need to go. When all of these things happen, like you need to go on a flight. It's so close and it's just magical. New Zealand's just absolutely magical.
So you've been to New Zealand?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
I have been to Bali a lot. So
yes, me too.
But that was one place that I never really wanted to go to. But then when I went there, I just, fell in love with Bali.
I think a lot of people are like that, aren't they? But that's if you find the special places of Bali, you keep going back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. We could do our own little travel podcast here.
I reckon.
I love it. So you mentioned a few things in regards to what made you get here, but what have been the key turning points in your journey to where Lisa is today and who Lisa is today?
I would say after my first or my last breakup with my last partner. So while I was with him, I was very physical body, and I wasn't quite into the whole spiritual world at all. I didn't really have any spiritual friends. So when we broke up, I wouldn't say I felt alone, but I was in a way alone in the way that most of my closest friends had partners, and I was kind of just like, what do I do now? And I did my first retreat. So I did a spiritual retreat where I met heaps of spiritual people. And finally, for the first time ever, I just felt like, I aligned with them, like things made sense. And from there, I learned Reiki, and I just met all these different people. And that's how I started my spiritual journey, healing, meditation. Obviously, I had just broken up with my partner, so I was learning how to heal and how to be alone. I'm also a twin, so I realized that like being alone is, it's always been a very big challenge for me. And I never thought about it till like maybe the last couple of years, that maybe being a twin obviously has such a big, like I've never been alone, not even when I was in my mum's tummy. You know?
True, when you think about it like that.
I've never ever been alone. I've always had that person growing up, and then I had a partner, and I never really had to be by myself. So learning that, and meeting people and healing, learned meditation, and I kind of went on that spiritual journey. And then a couple of years later, I met my current partner. And one of our first dates was we went to a yoga class together for the first time. Both of us. We'd never done yoga. We both really wanted to try yoga. So we went on a yoga class, and it was amazing. And then 1 year later, together, we were in India. We did the course together.
Oh, wow.
It was really nice, really special. And here I am today.
So yoga brought you together.
Yeah, exactly. And if you compare my life from then, that first yoga class to now, it's just completely different. So
wow, huge change.
Whole career in yoga, whereas I didn't have that before. And obviously I'm married now to the same man.
It's like a yoga love story.
Exactly. So yeah.
That's amazing. So there've been a few key turning points, and it's interesting how in life things happen that at the time we believe are the worst things that can happen to us, but now looking back we're like, wow, thank you. Like that's such a blessing, isn't it?
Exactly. If those things didn't happen, you would be, where you are today. So 100%.
So anything that's happening right now to anyone, it's kind of like think about it and be like, thank you for giving me this blessing.
Yeah, totally. And at the time, it doesn't feel like a blessing.
No, not at all.
Time always has to go by, so you can look back and be like, oh yeah, thank God that happened actually. So
yeah. Well, it's amazing. So gone from not doing any yoga at all, thinking yoga was boring, to having your first yoga with your man that you're married to now, and then going on a retreat for a whole month, all of just yoga. That's just crazy. It's just all shifted across. And now you're a yoga teacher, you're doing classes online at the moment due to the current situation, and you're teaching individuals how to do yoga and love yoga.
Yes. Yep.
Brilliant. So here on the podcast, we talk a lot about success, right? So success means different things to different individuals at different times of their lives also. So I wanted to find out, what does success look like for you at the moment?
For me, success would be freedom in all areas. So I'm not just with my career, but financial freedom, abundance with freedom, abundance with finances, abundance with happiness, love, family time. So I'm going to say just abundance in everything and feeling free. So not having that pressure, to have to work all the time or to have to be hustling and success, I think, is feeling happiness and love and good within yourself.
Beautiful. That's a really touching, that's a really nice answer. I like that. Abundance, because not a lot of us think the world is abundant, do we?
Exactly. And I feel like sometimes success for people means to, reach a certain point in their career, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're happy or fulfilled or, love themselves.
Yeah, 100%. So that's a beautiful answer in regards to success. I love it because it's a journey. It's not once you get this, that's when I'll be happy or that's when I'll be successful. It's kind of like every single moment that happens.
Yeah.
So let's get into the topic, the yoga. Let's talk about yoga and stress in particular, because most of the audience that's listening are business individuals and they are hustling their way through life. And we're here to, bring some awareness of health into their world. So let's bring a little bit of yoga into their world, right? So because they're stressed and the last thing they're thinking about is yoga, how can yoga help them with their stress?
Yeah. I feel like, as a business person or, we're so committed to our businesses and, serving our customers or our clients or whatever that we forget to make time for ourselves. So I think that is really important in being successful, to make time for yourself so you can be as productive and give you're the most positive energy that you can. So I think making time to practice yoga is one thing. Ask me the question again.
How does yoga help with stress? Being a stressed out business professional, how does yoga help with it? Because like I said, most individuals are so busy in their life. When they're stressed out, the last thing they think about is yoga. I'm going to go and do a bit of yoga. Exactly. They're more like, I'm going to go and do my accounting. I'm going to go and...
Okay. So taking time definitely is important. Yeah. If you make that time and you can practice yoga for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, just to help you. So yoga is really good. It teaches you to connect to your breath. And when you do that, you use your breath as a tool to become present. And when you're present or you take the time to just connect, it helps you to focus, I suppose, because so one thing is learning to focus on your breath will help you to focus in all areas. And also if you can become present and for a moment or learn to let go of what you were doing or let go of the past, let go of what you have to do later and just become present. You become more clear, a bit more inspired, you get more ideas. So as for stress, I would say physically, it helps to burn energy. A lot of us hold emotion in our body, in our shoulders. It's physical symptom. So when you're stressed, you're hunching your shoulders up or you might be clenching your teeth. And we also hold a lot of emotions like fear and grief in our hips. So, when you've got pain in your body, it turns into a physical symptom. So practicing yoga, when you create space in your body and you stretch, it releases a lot of that emotion as well. And it's also scientifically proven to calm down your central nervous system. So overall, that helps with your immune system. It helps, it helps you to focus. It helps you, obviously you learn it during the practice, but then it doesn't matter what you're doing in your daily life. If you're working, you can quickly become present, quickly come back to the present moment. And sometimes when our thoughts or our minds are so busy, it's really hard to just shut it down a little bit. And, we're never going to completely shut up our minds. That's what the mind is created to do. But if you can learn to kind of slow it down, calm it down, and become present, then you'll be more focused.
So yoga's got a lot to do with breathing, because when most people think about yoga, they just think hanging upside down, downward dog, and so forth. But you're saying that the breath is the thing that assists you and puts you in the moment.
Exactly. Yes. So I would say this is probably a quote that is all over Instagram, and you've probably seen it before, but it's not necessarily the goal of yoga is not necessarily, the next pretzel pose or crazy pose, but it's the journey on the way to the pose. What comes up, what comes up when you're present. That's the other thing, because we're all so busy, we never have time to just sit in stillness. And when you sit in stillness is when you actually take a moment to check in, and your feelings are actually surface. So, becoming present within your practice, a lot of the time people, emotions kind of just come up. So it's a really nice way to, rather than pushing them away like we do in our daily busy lives, to just allow them to surface and to feel them. And that's really the only way that they're going to heal.
Yeah.
So
you're saying that being still can mean that you're productive, actually.
100%. Definitely. Yeah.
A lot of people will be listening right now and being like, wow, that makes absolutely no sense to me. How can I be productive but actually not doing anything?
Yeah.
So what would you say to them if they say to you, Lisa, like, I'm a productive person, I smash things out, I've got to get things done, I've got a to-do list, but you're telling me to be still?
Yes. I mean, being productive is not a bad thing. Obviously, things need to get done. But using productivity as a distraction which is what we all tend to do. I think a lot of the time we always tend to be busy. That way we can't stop and slow down and feel what's going on within our bodies. And, by doing that, we're creating all these physical symptoms in our bodies. We're getting tighter. We're getting, angrier. Don't even know why. More emotional. Don't know what's happening within us, and it's because it's all just bottling up inside our bodies. So definitely taking the time, and it doesn't have to be an hour of sitting still. That's actually why I love yoga. Meditation is great, but you don't have to be sitting upright for a whole hour to meditate. Yoga is a form of meditation. Each breath in, each conscious breath in, each conscious breath out is a form of meditation.
Yeah.
So, I think it's really important to, you will be more productive if you're cleared of all those, all the energy in your body, and you can focus more.
Yeah. So there are, from my understanding, there are different types of yogas, types of yogas. What are they, and how do the different things do different things in our body and mind? What are the different types of yoga?
So there's a lot of different types of yoga. I don't know if I'm going to be able to name them all, but the style that I teach is Vinyasa Flow, which is it's a very common one. It's a little bit, can be faster, and it's a bit of a mix between strengthening, flexibility, meditation, all together. And that's all really important as well. The physical side of yoga is really important because it's important to keep your muscles strong and keep your body healthy. But it's just that it's not all that it is. And then there's your yin yoga, which is, it's not as active. It's deeper stretches of the fascia. It's a lot more mind work because you're sitting in these deep stretches for quite a few minutes, and the mind can go everywhere. So it's all about trying to stay with the breath and acknowledge what comes up and trying not to judge whatever's coming up and sitting with that. And as you do that, so much energy releases from your body. There's also Ashtanga yoga. It's a little bit more of a disciplined practice, but it's still very, very physical. What else is there? So many types of yoga. Restorative yoga, it's a lot more, it's a supported shapes. Again, you're lying there in different shapes, although it's very supported. So it's a bit more of a meditative, how you say?
Meditative, yeah.
It's also really restorative for the body, for your organs. So many different styles. As for, strength and flexibility, or even just flexibility, there's no one yoga that is proven to be better than the other.
Beautiful.
But at the end of the day, the goal is, to quieten down the mind, it's like self-inquiry, to learn about yourself, to acknowledge yourself, to have that time with yourself. And I think I always encourage my students to listen to their bodies as well. So even if I'm doing a really strong practice one day and, you feel like you need to slow down and stay in child's pose or just breathe, like listening to your body and doing what you need for that day. Sometimes I might do a really slow class and someone just needs to burn off some energy. And so, I'll give them different options. So I think it's all about listening to your body and seeing how you feel and what you need, and then going with that.
Yeah. I love that you said that yoga is mine, the yin one, because I remember when I did a yoga class, I think it was yin, and I was like, my mind was just like, I can't hold this pose anymore. What's happening? How long have I got to go? And a minute, oh my gosh, he's gone forever. It's just like your mind's just playing games with you.
Exactly, yeah. And I suppose it's also about learning how to sit through that and be with that and breathe through it. And if you can breathe through that, then, you can get through all things in your life, other challenges that come up, painful things, emotion.
So is one more yin than the other? One's more yin, one's more yang? Is that what it is, or is all yoga both?
Yes. No. So yin, I would say, is more yin because it's about feeling. Whereas yang is like the vinyasa flow or the ashtanga, for example. I'm not going to say it's a completely yang practice, but there's more physical. It's more physical, where that's the yang, like the action taking, not so much the feeling. Although there is still that component. I always say, what are you feeling in this shape? What's coming up? Yeah. But it's definitely more yin because it's all, okay, let's sit here and feel.
Yeah. Which these days, especially, when you have your own business and stuff, you're more of an action taker. You're more action means result. Getting this done means this. So, a lot of women are running on so much yang energy. So
yeah. And, I'm one of those women. I'm definitely a yang, natural by nature, like yang action taker. I'm an action taker. What do I do now? What can I do now to, And sometimes I just have to, and that's what I love about yoga, because it does bring me back and it reminds me, okay, like, let's see what's happening in here. How do I feel? And just by doing that, I'm always surprised about how much inspiration suddenly just comes, creativity in my mind, just from, rather than trying to be creative and trying to come up with something all the time, and that like yang action taking, because it's true. You have that thought, sitting still, you feel like, I'm wasting time. Sometimes you feel like you're wasting time, but it's so not.
Could be like, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. Yeah, why am I just sitting here? It's not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you found when you first started also?
I love yoga because, in a way it's easier than just sitting there meditating. Not that I don't think meditating is great, but it is a form in a way of meditation, and you get to move your body, and so that's why I love it, because I'm
more of a yang.
Yeah.
But it's good that you balance it up, because I know that when I have taken a yoga class, the instructor always goes, what are you feeling? How are you feeling? Or it's like you do this move and it's like, what emotion is that giving you? And it's like, I didn't know just one simple move can make me feel like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's amazing. So what would you say is the best simple daily yoga routine to fight off stress or even prevent stress for individuals?
That's a hard one because everyone's so different. I would say listening to your body. That's not obviously doing yoga, just listening to your body. But if you can just take a moment to check in and see what your body needs, and incorporating yoga into your day is like just becoming conscious every now and again, or taking some conscious breaths here and there, or have a little stretch. You don't have to do it in a yoga way. Just see what your body feels like, what feels good. Where are you tight? Move your body and listen to your body. If it feels good, then do it. And then while you're doing it, bring your awareness to, where does it feel tight? How do you feel emotionally when you do this stretch, or come to the breath? What's happening?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, it's hard for me to say, I'll do this routine just like this. But I think checking in, take notice, stretch your body, hop onto YouTube, Instagram, follow some gentle beginner type yoga classes. And once you do that a few times, you'll know what feels nice and what you like, and you can incorporate that into your daily, your daily routine. There's even yoga for, for a lot of you are sitting on your desks. There are yoga poses that you can do at your desk, stretching on a chair. So, and just taking 5 minutes if it's on your break, or maybe every hour, do some neck stretches. And while you're doing them, that's when you can become aware of your breath. You can meditate at the same time.
That's awesome. So for anyone who probably has never done yoga before, or has done 1 or 2 classes, what would be a starting point? I know that you said feel your body, move around and feel your body, but these individuals, they have never done anything like that. So how do they know? Because they're always doing. They don't know how to feel. What would be a simple, easy step to start off with?
I would say, do you want me to show you?
You can show us. Yeah, go on. For anyone who's listening on Spotify or iTunes or an audio.
Oh, no, Spotify, I can't show you.
Jump on YouTube to see what she's doing. Go on, show us one of them.
No. All right, look, I'm going to say you can do this on your bed.
Okay.
Or anyway, a child's pose, and even tabletops. So let's say child's pose and downward facing dog. They're probably, the 2 most common shapes that we do in a yoga practice. Can you see me?
Yes, can see you perfect.
Awesome. So if you come into a child's pose, you're pretty much on your knees, hips are kind of back. And if you just slide your arms down and rest your forehead on your mat or on your floor or on your bed, wherever you are. This is going to stretch through the spine and through the shoulders, through the hips. And it's also proven to, calm down your central nervous system if you can sit in this shape for a few minutes. Also, if you come into a tabletop, so hands and knees, and just bring some movement into the spine, just arching and rounding the spine. This is going to bring some, just release some tension, I suppose, in the back there, open up through the chest, bring some movement into the neck, engage the core. And then our downward facing dog, which you've all heard of before, just bringing the bottom back, and you can stretch out the shoulders, lengthen up through the spine, and pedal out the legs, one heel back at a time. Another nice one is just to come into a forward fold. So bringing the feet up towards the hands, grabbing a hold of your elbows, soft bend in the knees, and just allowing the upper body to dangle down, and gentle sway from side to side. And this is really good for releasing tension in the hamstrings, the back, the neck, even through the shoulders. So there's a lot going on here. And again, as you do this, just always bringing your attention back to your breath and taking notice of how you feel. Yeah, there are a few movements.
There you go, a few movements. Or you can just watch someone doing it and feel relaxed just watching someone do it.
Thanks for stretching out my hamstrings, Lisa.
No, that was beautiful. So you can see how Lisa is an absolutely amazing yoga teacher. She just goes through the flow, explains it all. So yeah, absolutely amazing. And at the end, we'll go through how you'll be able to do a yoga session with her. But that is absolutely amazing for someone who doesn't, hasn't done yoga before in so much detail. And then those simple exercises, that took you 2 minutes, not even.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And it puts you back in the flow, back in the mood, back in the energy, doesn't it? Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And also your body will feel so much better for it. A lot of us are sitting at desks all day and we're not moving our bodies and we're in lockdown, you know. I know that can be...
Our bodies are becoming locked in.
Yes, exactly. And it can be a little unmotivating, you know, especially if we're used to going to a gym or we're used to, you know, moving our bodies in different ways. So, yeah.
So how can someone motivate themselves to do a bit of yoga at home if they don't have a class, or they just don't want to go to a class, or they're closed?
Yes. I mean, the good thing about our pandemic in 2020 is the internet, you know, that we've got, everyone's offering so many online classes, and I think it's easier to, or a bit more motivating to join into an actual live class, because, you know, I think that we've all got that intention. Yeah, I'll go onto YouTube and I'll do it. But like, it's so easily, you know, you can do it later. You can keep pushing it. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, and then later just never comes. Whereas if you sign into an online virtual class, then, you know, you've signed up for it. People are expecting to see you there, and it's also a nice way to be able to connect with others. Like right now, that's what we're missing out on, that human connection. So, and then you've got that time booked in. So that time dedicated to doing it. And, you know, I mean, as for motivation, it is really hard to, you know, pick yourself up. But once you do it, you just push yourself to do it that one time, you'll feel so much better for it, and we'll just start from there, you know, and keep going. So
yeah,
you love
just
it.
Feel amazing.
Exactly.
You have that yoga buzz. The yoga glow. I love it. So you've had yoga in your life for about 4 years or so. So how has it helped you in your life personally?
Like I said, it's from at the beginning when I was talking about how I did gymnastics and then I transitioned into yoga. It's definitely helped me to slow down, which I feel like everyone needs to slow down. We are so in this like society where it's like go here, there, you know. So it's definitely helped me to slow down, and just even enjoy like checking in and breathing. And it also has helped me to deal with situations outside of, you know, off my yoga mat. So like the way that I react to things is different. I'm a bit more calmer. I can check in and see how I'm feeling rather than reacting. So I feel like my personality in that way has changed. I can deal with things better. My body is definitely less pain. There's less pain in my body. I never really feel stiff like ever now. And if I do feel some soreness, it's normally because I've done some weight training or something, and there's that normal soreness that comes with that. But otherwise, like, yeah, you know, my body's pretty much pain-free all the time. Yeah, I feel like it's helped me like within my business. I feel more focused. I feel more present in my daily life when I'm talking to people, you know. Yeah.
So you use that breath to check in stressful situations, because in life we're given curveballs, aren't we? And then we have to deal with them
all the time. Yeah. And, you know, since I started yoga, I'm surprised with how I've dealt with things compared to how I would have before I, you know, started yoga. So, yeah.
So what's the major difference? How are you dealing with things?
I just feel like I'm a little bit more aware of how I'm feeling, and a bit more in control of my reactions, rather than letting things take over me and how, you know, taking over and I'm being this different person because I'm so, you know, full of all this emotion. I feel like I get through things quicker. Like I allow myself to feel them. I know what's happening. I'm more aware of my body and how I feel, and then I'm able to release it quicker. And I said at some point before, it's like it's self-inquiry. So I'm able to check in and take notice of what's going on. Why am I feeling this way? Rather than just reacting a certain way and not even checking in.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you act differently, you know, you do things differently. You say things differently, with a bit more presence, a bit more love. Yeah,
that's amazing. And a lot of people would want to be at that stage, because when they're stressed out, when they've got deadlines, all this stuff, and then some little thing comes at you, you just crack it or you just blow up without even
Exactly.
meaning.
Exactly.
And
And don't get me wrong, that's still going to happen every now and again. We're human.
Every full moon. No.
Once a month. But, it takes practice and things are going to happen that have never happened before. So you're going to react a certain way. But you'll get better at it. You'll get better at dealing with your own emotions.
Yeah. And I guess that's why it's called yoga practice, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a constant practice, constant journey, constant growing. Yeah.
One thing that popped into my head whilst we've been talking is you were in India for a month, right? So the Indian culture that you saw, did they do like yoga every day? Is that part of their culture? Is it part of their religion? How did you see any of that? Or were you in a retreat so you didn't see much of it?
Where I was in India, in Goa, that's
Goa is beautiful. I heard that's absolutely beautiful. I haven't been. I would love to go.
It's amazing, amazing, amazing. It's a very yoga culture there. So there was a lot of it, a lot of yoga, a lot of healing, and but when I traveled to other parts of India, I wouldn't say it was like that. So I don't think it's the culture for all of India, but yoga was that's where it originated in India thousands of years ago. So it is a big thing in yoga, but I wouldn't say that they all practice every day and they're all doing that.
Yeah.
There is a lot of yoga all around India for sure.
Yeah. So in the retreat, were you guys just doing yoga, or did you have special food? Did you have special chanting? Did you have special water? Or...
All of it.
Oh, all of it. There you go.
Yeah. So it was pretty much like a vegetarian diet the whole time. And
did they say why? Did they say why vegetarian?
Yeah, it's about the energy within your body.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's not specifically, but like in India, actually, they don't eat beef at all. It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So even if you went to the McDonald's there in India, there's like no, Big Mac, like a normal Big Mac like you would eat here. It's all like, it's different. But that's more of a cultural thing. I mean, it's all about taking care of your body as well. It's a lifestyle. Yoga is a lifestyle. It's not just that hour on the mat. But while we were there, we did have it was a vegetarian diet and it was Indian. So it was like a lot of dal and rice and, I don't even remember what they were all called, but different dishes.
Yeah, all the different curries and all that.
All different curries, yeah. And as for the training, so we did 3 hours of yoga a day.
Wow.
Every day.
And that was all child's pose?
Oh, no, this was like intense training. It was all yang.
Yeah.
And we did 1 hour of meditation a day. So that's 4 hours. And then everything else was all philosophy. It was really full on. It was a full on month, but amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So if someone was interested in doing this, would you suggest that to them? And who would you suggest it to?
Do you mean that particular course that I did?
Yeah, the particular course you did. Who can go do it, or do you have to,
yeah, I mean, anyone can go and do it. Before the training, they do suggest that you practice yoga as often as you can or daily, because it is intense. It's a lot of work, so you do need to be physically ready. And, they get you to read some books before you go there and have a bit of an idea of what you're getting into. I was unprepared. That's why I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, what am I even doing this for? I don't even know if I like yoga. But considering I was so unprepared, I was fine. It was fine. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so I did it at Sampurna. It was called Sampurna Yoga in Goa. And I 100% recommend that place. Like, it was amazing. The teachers were amazing. The experience was amazing. Accommodation amazing. Goa, it was in a quieter part of Goa, which was really beautiful. You have to be careful when you do courses in India because not all of the yoga schools have the best reputation, but this particular one was really good. And I was even going to, this year, I was going to go do my advanced training there this month, actually.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, it all got cancelled due to the current situation. So,
So what's the
definitely.
advanced course? How's that? Is that another month or what is that?
Yeah, so I did a 200-hour course. So the advanced course is 300 hours, so it's a little bit longer.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just goes deeper into the practice, physically and spiritually. So
How
yeah,
amazing is that? So it's always developing yourself and
oh
for your
yeah,
students, for yourself. There's always something to learn. It's not just a downward
always.
dog.
No, it's constant learning, always. Yeah,
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
always a student.
Yeah, so I wanted to find out, you seem to live a pretty healthy life, doing yoga and things like that. So how does that make you a better business professional? How does that help Whisper Wellness, your small business that you run? How does that make you a better business person?
I think it's really important to practice what you preach. So
Yep.
that's one. So I really try to, if I'm going to, recommend or advise, do yoga, do your meditation, eat healthy, that I should be doing that myself. And, and so in doing, I love it firstly, but, in doing that, it does make me, I can actually inspire others to do that because I'm doing that. And I feel better about it. I feel better for myself. And so when others do it, then they're going to feel better as well. Obviously when you're physically active and you're looking after your body, you can have more energy as well. That's one thing that I feel is the most, for me, if I don't have energy, I don't feel inspired, I don't feel motivated, I'm just a slug. So, when I feel energetic, I'm ready to go, for my business, I'm ready, I'm more creative, I'm excited to do the work rather than feel forced to do the work or having to push myself. One thing other than diet or doing the yoga where I feel or I notice, I've already noticed that I feel more energetic is just when the sun's out. Nice sunny day, I get out and all of a sudden I've just got so much energy and I'm excited and I want to do all the work. So I feel like it's really important to get a good dose of vitamin D.
Yeah, 100%.
And get some sun and
it just gives us energy. And spring's here in Australia, which is absolutely amazing. I'm so pumped for summer.
Oh, I'm pumped. Summer's my favorite season.
Me too. I love it. Absolutely love the whole feel. I love the sun. I love the heat.
The smell of like the flowers and just something about it, the humidity in the air. It's just the best.
That's why you love Bali.
That's why I love Bali. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how many days a week or hours do you practice yoga a week?
I try to do 1 hour a day. That's just for me. But that doesn't always happen. If I don't, I'll always, I'm lucky I get to teach, I teach yoga pretty much every day. So I'm doing a little bit of yoga while I'm teaching. But I still try to do my own practice as well. And if I don't, for some reason, I'll squeeze in 10 minutes of stretching, sometimes even in the shower, I was talking to a few clients the other day and they said that they love stretching in the shower. And I think it's just such a great idea because, your muscles are warm and you've got that 5 minutes by yourself. You can just wash away, all that energy and just have a nice stretch in the shower, do a few forward folds. So I always squeeze it in somehow, somewhere.
I love it. As effective and efficient you can be.
Exactly.
There's no excuse not to do yoga. You can even do it in your shower.
Not at all.
I love it. Well, this has been an absolutely amazing podcast. You've given us so much insight, so much information about yoga, how it can help out if you're stressed, when you can do it, how you can do it. But to wrap it up, I ask my audience, because this is the Natural Health Podcast, what is your best, your secret health hack?
Yes. I was thinking about this. There are so many. But I think the one that I do most all the time is coconut oil. I use coconut oil for everything, moisturizer, hair treatment, for my face. It's great for sunburn. You cook with it, use it for asking. So I'm going to say coconut oil is definitely my number one. It's something that I use every day. I also use a lot of essential oils. So I love to read up about them and see how and where I can use them, you know, for my cleaning products. Or I use frankincense with my coconut oil on my face. It's like meant to be really good for anti-aging.
Everything coconut oil.
Everything coconut oil, exactly. So yeah, I'm going to say coconut oil.
Yeah, I love coconut oil. It's so versatile. There's so many things you can do. Like you said, hair, skin, even for your pets, you can put it on your pets if they've got scars or if you have a scar, oil pulling, everything.
Yes. So many things. Yeah.
I love it. I love coconut oil. So you must buy like kilos and kilos and kilos of it.
I do. I've got like those big, you know, the big tubs.
One in a bathroom, one in the kitchen, one in the bedroom, everywhere. I absolutely love it. I love it. All right, Lisa, we've come to the end of this Absolutely Magic podcast. Thank you so much for showing us some yoga moves. That was unprepared. That was absolutely amazing, magical. I love it. Totally random. I love it. Thanks for giving us so much information. And for anyone who's listening and is like, oh my gosh, I want to learn off Lisa. She seems to be an amazing yoga individual. I want her to be my teacher. I want more information about yoga. How can they contact you and where do they find you?
Yeah. So there's a few different platforms to contact me. You can go onto my website. So it's www.whisperwellness.com.au. Whisper spelled WHISPA. I'm on Instagram as Whisper Wellness. You can send me an email. All my details are on my website. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to contact me. Yeah.
And we have a special deal for the individuals who are listening to this podcast and mention it to you, which is...
So I'm offering a free yoga class, online trial yoga class for anyone really who's listening, who wants to trial it. They're 60-minute classes. If you get in touch with me, I can give you my timetable so you can see when and where the classes are and what suits you best. And yeah, we'll organize. The classes are via Zoom. So if you like, yeah, get in touch and you'll be...
How amazing is that? So you have absolutely no excuse not to have yoga in your everyday life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lisa's giving you an introduction to yoga.
You'll love it. Yeah, it'll be good. And you'll meet some, you know, other like-minded people online and yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Totally beginner friendly. So even if you've never done yoga before, this will be perfect for you. Nice way to start at home in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for this absolutely amazing podcast. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too.
You're most welcome. So thank you for joining us at the Natural Health Podcast. And remember, the missing link between failure and success is your health.